Chelsea faced Arsenal in the EFL Cup in just the second match under new head coach Liam Rosenior. While it was still early in his tenure, the attacking principles Chelsea were trying to implement were already visible. Arsenal are one of the most difficult teams to break down, combining intense pressing with an extremely compact defensive block. Rather than focusing on the result, this analysis looks at how Rosenior attempted to attack Arsenal's defensive structure and what those patterns reveal about the direction Chelsea are moving in. To understand Chelsea's attacking approach, it is first necessary to analyze Arsenal's defensive structure. Arsenal begin their defensive phase in a mid-block, shifting laterally in response to the direction of Chelsea's ball circulation. When Chelsea move the ball horizontally, Arsenal maintain their block shape while adjusting their positioning as a unit. However, when Chelsea attempt to progress the ball vertically near the halfway line, Arsenal do not apply immediate aggressive pressure. Instead, they prioritize preserving the integrity of the block. Once Chelsea advance beyond the halfway line, the defender closest to the ball steps out as the first defender, initiating pressure on the possessor. In this sequence, Arsenal initially maintain their mid-block press before recognizing Chelsea's intention to recycle possession through short combinations backward. At that moment, the first line of pressure switches rapidly into a man-oriented press, with multiple players stepping out simultaneously. The speed and intensity of this pressing transition are among the strongest in the league. Inside their defensive third, Arsenal defend in an extremely compact block. As soon as the ball enters the block, multiple players collapse quickly to form a defensive trap, aggressively contesting and regaining possession. Arsenal's all-round aggressive pressing made it difficult for Chelsea to create space. However, Chelsea attempted to generate advantages through coordinated movements rather than individual actions. In this sequence, Chelsea focus on creating and exploiting central space. First, one midfielder moves toward the flank, drawing his marker away from the center. Immediately after, two defenders spread wide simultaneously, stretching the opposition horizontally and expanding the available space. As a result of these coordinated movements, a passing lane opens in the central area. A winger then drops quickly into this space, positioning himself as a viable passing option between the lines. Chelsea's goalkeeper recognizes the moment and plays a between-the-lines pass through the newly created lane, progressing the ball rapidly toward the halfway line. Upon receiving the ball, the winger uses his dynamic superiority to beat his marker and exploit the central space. The next sequence is a build-up pattern designed to maximize Chelsea's strongest attacking outlet on the right flank, Estevao. Arsenal commit 6 players to the central area, aggressively controlling the middle of the pitch. Rather than forcing entry into this congestion, Chelsea opt to exploit the wide areas. However, Arsenal's left fullback is positioned close enough to mark Estevao directly. To pull this defender away, a right-sided midfielder makes a diagonal run inward, penetrating the central zone. This movement successfully draws the opposing left fullback inside, leaving the right flank free. From the pivot position, Enzo Fernandez switches play with a long diagonal pass into the right flank, allowing Estevao to receive the ball with space and exploit the area comfortably. This sequence serves the same objective, delivering the ball to Estevao while neutralizing the nearby defensive cover. Once again, Arsenal's left fullback is positioned close to Estevao. This time, Liam, who had been occupying a higher position, drops toward the central area, deliberately attracting the defender's attention. Through movement alone, Chelsea temporarily create a 2-versus-1 dynamic. As Enzo Fernandez carries the ball forward near the halfway line, Liam sharply changes direction and accelerates into the central channel, fully pulling the defender out of position. With the left fullback drawn away, the right flank opens once more. Fernandez then plays the ball into the free space on the right. allowing Estevao to attack and exploit the flank. In this sequence, Chelsea looked to exploit the central space while under man-oriented pressure from the opposition. A defender carries the ball forward and shapes as if he is about to pass to the winger, already positioned centrally, deliberately drawing the defender's attention toward that option. At the same moment, the forward, Marc Guiu, makes a high-speed run from the front line into the central channel, disrupting the defensive structure and presenting himself as a new passing option. Guiu receives the ball and immediately lays it off to the winger, Estevao, before continuing his run forward. Estevao then releases a through ball into the right flank for Acheyampong, whose forward run leads the move into a shooting opportunity. In the following sequence, Arsenal are already set in a very compact 5-4-1 low block. Chelsea initially attempt to play into the block, but with no viable options, possession is recycled backward to a deeper midfielder. To stretch the overly congested central area, Chelsea switch the ball to the right, successfully drawing out Arsenal's left fullback. The ball is then played back inside to Enzo Fernandez. As this happens, two defenders step out to press, leaving space behind them. This movement opens up a free zone inside the box on the right side. Recognizing the timing, Pedro, who had been positioned centrally inside the box, makes a quick run into the right half space. Enzo delivers a perfectly weighted through ball into this space, allowing Chelsea to break the compact defensive shape and create a dangerous cutback opportunity from inside the box. This sequence comes from a set-piece situation. Arsenal position 8 players inside the 6-yard box, with 4 protecting the near post and 4 covering the far post. Despite this heavy occupation, the intended target of the delivery is the far post zone. At the far post, however, a single attacker is initially marked by 4 defenders, making a direct aerial duel highly unfavorable. As the kick is taken, another Chelsea player, who had been positioned inside the penalty area, accelerates toward the far post area, arriving at speed. This late run allows him to successfully execute a flick-on, redirecting the ball into the path of Alejandro Garnacho, who is positioned and waiting behind the defensive line. As a result, Garnacho is able to finish without any contest, converting the chance into a goal.